Hi everyone, this is your guy Vino and welcome back to Vinos Corners. For those of you who hasn't subscribed yet, please do subscribe to my educational channel. We are here in Tower Cafe with lovely guests in front of me.
Hello!
None other than the most amazing super nurse, a star from the Lone Star State, Texas.
Yay!
Are you guys excited? Shall we?
This is the life to live. I'm telling you, if you're able, this is the life to live.
Today, I am with Super Nurse, a star from Lone Star State, Texas. Very pretty, intelligent nurse, fun to be working with. Though I worked with her for just a short time, but I really enjoyed it a lot. And she's one of the most memorable nurses I worked with. Very fun to work with. Let's all welcome YUNA.
Hello. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for allowing me to interview you for my vlog, and I really appreciate it. I know you're from work, but you don't look. You're from work. You look like fresh, very.
Thank you!
And how do you like nursing?
I love nursing.
Oh, by the way, introduce yourself for my viewers.
Yes, for sure. Hello, guys. My name is YUNA. I'm a travel nurse. I've been a travel nurse for the last 3 years. I live in Dallas, Texas right now. I've done a total of 11 travel contracts. This is the 11th one. I was actually born in Europe and my family is from Central Africa, a country called the Congo. And so French was my first language. I learned English in school whenever I moved to the United States, and I love to travel.
How young did you move here?
I turned 4 here.
Okay.
Yeah.
From Congo?
From Europe.
Europe.
From Switzerland.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've been traveling Europe a lot?
Yeah.
Oh
See, it's just a
God,
part of my nature.
So jealous.
Yes.
I'm so happy that I'm talking to you right now. YUNA, how are you? How's your nursing career?
Nursing is amazing. I think that right now is a very interesting time to be a nurse for me. But honestly, I think I love the career that I'm in. I love the fact that I'm able to give back. I love the fact that I'm able to take care of patients. Yes. And I feel like nursing was what I was put on this earth to do. I'm so compassionate about my work. I'm so compassionate about helping others in their time of need. So it's something that's near and dear to me. So I love nursing. Nursing is great.
It is very rewarding. It's such a noble job. Before, I don't like nursing. I mean, when I was studying, I'm like, is this really what I want to do? I want to reassess my life right now. But when I was studying, but I love what I'm doing. It's like when you love what you're doing, you never get bored. It's like when you love someone, you never get tired, right? So, what is travel nursing for you?
So for me, travel nursing, essentially in a nutshell, is nurses who come from different parts of the country or different parts of the world, wherever there's a need. So for example, myself here, I'm from Texas. I'm currently working in Sacramento, California. So there was a need for nurses in Sacramento. So you can come, stay for about 8 to 12 weeks, 8 to 13 weeks at that specific place, work there as a normal staff would be, and then go back home and then go to a different location.
Is that the maximum or minimum?
So on average, before COVID, the contracts were about 13 weeks. Now that COVID has kind of hit us, you see some contracts as short as 4 to 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and you see some contracts as long as 26 weeks. So it really just depends on the need of the hospital.
Wow. Okay. So what made you decide to do travel nursing?
So several factors actually. For me, I've traveled a lot just for leisure. And so being a travel nurse was just kind of what was the next step for me. So it aligned with my life personally and my profession. So it was like a perfect way to merge the two. Also, because I travel a lot, just having the flexibility of taking some time off when I need it. And it also kind of gives me a sense of balance because I can work for an extended period of time off. So then essentially I don't get like overwhelmed with work, or I don't get burnt out because I give myself that time period in between to kind of refresh. Right.
And replenish, like
exactly.
Recharge.
Exactly,
recharge.
That's the word. That's the word. So
hang on. I'm like, thinking right now, do I have to continue this? Because I'm getting jealous to this girl now. I want to do what she does.
This is the life to live. I'm telling you, if you're able, this is the life to live.
Yeah, and at the same time, like me, I'm single. I have no responsibility. So I'm like, I can travel. And at the same time, like you, we're both young professionals. So we can, oh my God, this is perfect. I'm so happy that I talked with you today.
Likewise.
So another thing that I want to talk about is the flexibility. How's the flexibility?
So I think that one of the misconceptions of travel nursing is you just work all the time. Oftentimes, whenever you go to a facility, there's a need, which is why they need travelers, right?
Yes.
So you have to have some sort of flexibility as a nurse going in there to fill that void. So on some assignments, they may tell you, hey, I need you to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You have no choice. Those are the days that you're working. Other assignments, you can kind of go in there and say, hey, is it okay? I prefer to work Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Does that work with you?
For real?
Yeah, and then
Depending on where your contract is, you can kind of build your schedule according to your needs. So for example, if I know personally that I have a personal trip to take 1 week, for example, if I know that I'm going somewhere Monday through Thursday, I can just approach my recruiter, let them know, hey, I know that on these days I won't be able to work. And it's okay. They put it in the contract and you don't work those days. There is a lot of, as a nurse, you have to be flexible, but also generally the hospitals are pretty flexible with you.
Okay, so what if like I want to work in a certain area? Is it possible as well? Like, okay, I'm a dialysis nurse. I just want to work in dialysis.
Yeah.
Is it possible?
Yeah, for sure. So typically, whenever you sign an assignment, they only place you in an area where you have experience. So as a dialysis nurse, myself, I'm a dialysis nurse as well.
Wow.
And I do med surg as well.
So as a dialysis nurse, I can pick up a contract in dialysis. So if I go somewhere and I say, hey, I'm proficient in hemodialysis, peritoneal dialysis, and apheresis, I can go to a hospital that has needs in those areas.
Yes.
I can go to a clinic that only has peritoneal dialysis needs. I can go to a hospital that only focuses on apheresis and do that as well. I can go somewhere and do CRRT. It's just depending on the need of the hospital.
Oh my God, so the recruiter should be flexible to the nurse, and the nurse should be flexible to the recruiter.
Exactly.
That's a good thing as well. Like, it's give and take.
Right.
So can you tell me, because we don't want to like mislead other people, because there's pros and consequences in any job that we do. So can you tell me some pros and some consequences working as a travel nurse?
For sure. I think that some of the pros of working as a travel nurse, you get to experience different places in the country that you may have not have experienced in the past. You get to learn from different nurses. You get to experience different hospitals and different facilities. You get to visit these cities and see that all the city has to offer and things like that. I think that the flexibility that comes with it, you have the flexibility of taking off for an extended period of time without taking a hit financially, essentially. And some of the cons that come with traveling, it's not all luxurious, right?
Yeah.
You may go to some facilities and the staff is not so kind to you, you know?
Are we that kind?
No, you guys are nice. You guys are nice. So yeah, you may go to some facilities and the staff is not as kind to you. You may go to some facilities that are not willing to work with your schedule. You may have instances where you need a specific time off and they're not willing to give you that time off. You're always the new person. So you're always, the first 2 weeks are always the most stressful because you're at a new facility, you're learning new policies, you're learning new supply rooms, you're learning all these different new things that it takes time to kind of get adjusted to that. So you're always the new girl, or for me, I'm always the new girl wherever I go, so.
And you should be like adaptable to different situations or also adaptable to different units.
For sure.
How am I as a workmate?
You're amazing.
Oh,
You're amazing. Even though you try to feed me all the time, you're
know,
amazing.
like, I
You're
was
amazing.
like, hey, we have food here. Come here.
Yes.
Help yourself.
I'm like, you want to send me back to Texas? Like what? So.
Okay. Do you need to have hospital experience, acute experience, or?
So typically whenever, so the thing with travel nursing is you need to have experience in whatever position you're applying for. Generally, some positions ask for at least a minimum of 1 year of experience. Right. Some ask for 2, some take as little as 6 months. It depends on the facility that you're working at and their needs as well. Thank you. That looks good.
Looks yummy.
It does look yummy.
How about the SNF? Like the people who work in a skilled nursing facility, can they apply as a travel nurse?
So every position that you see in a nursing facility has the potential of being a travel position. Especially now, there's a lot of turnover because a lot of people are going towards travel nursing. So there's always needs. So essentially, you find an agency that you like or that you want to work with, find a recruiter. And if you're a SNF nurse, look for SNF positions, long-term acute care positions. If you're a dialysis nurse, look for dialysis positions. If you're a pediatric nurse, look for pediatric positions. It's just important to know that as a travel nurse, you don't really get a lot of training. So it's important for you to be proficient in the area in which that you're going to go seek a travel position in.
Yes, that's really absolutely correct. And at the same time, for me, like, skills is trainable, but it's you should be like willing to be trained.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then the SNF, like the nurses who's working in a skilled nursing facility, they can transition as well to travel nursing. This is a very important question that I want to ask you. How to find a good recruiter? What are the red flags that I'm like, hang on, I'm not gonna go to this contract or something?
So one of the biggest things for me is transparency. So as a traveler, because I think that something that everybody needs to understand is that recruiters get compensated based on the nurses that they sign, right? So of course a recruiter is going to want you to take the position that they're offering you. So for me, the biggest thing is transparency from the nurse's perspective and from the recruiter's perspective as well. So as a recruiter, I should be able to contact you, and within a given time frame, I should be able to hear back from you. If I'm having an issue and I'm contacting my recruiter and I can't hear back from my recruiter, that's a red flag for me, because that's the person who's supposed to mediate myself and the hospital. That's my point of contact. That's who the hospital deals with, or their account manager, or whoever it may be. But that is my point of contact. So if I'm unable to communicate effectively with my recruiter, that's a red flag for me. If there's some discrepancies in my contract and the recruiter's like, kind of throwing it under the rug, that's a red flag for me. Those are things that literally will cause me to go a different way with a different recruiter.
Yeah, and also if you need help or someone, as you said, they're your first contact person. Yeah, so they should be available anytime. And for me, I agree to you that communication is the key.
Right.
Transparency is the key.
Right.
Absolutely right. So guys, you heard that?
If you don't have a recruiter that's responding to you, that's not a good recruiter. So.
Yes. Okay, this is the most exciting part. How's the pay?
It's important to know that travel nursing is lucrative, right? So it varies there's a lot of factors that vary. Your years of experience will vary, your specialty will vary, the city that you're going to is going to vary. There are certain states that pay better than other states, so that's going to vary. Location is going to vary as well. It's important to note that too whenever you're accepting a contract, and understanding that a travel package that you may get in California is going to look completely different than a travel package that you may get like somewhere like Mississippi, where the cost of living is completely different, right? There's a lot that goes into play whenever it comes to pay. Years of experience, your specialty, where the location of the contract, how long the contract is going to be. Is it a crisis contract or is it a traditional contract? So a lot of those factors play into the pay. But pay is great, to answer your question.
Yes.
So.
And also I saw a lot of advertisement, like they posted it 5,000 per week or something like that. It can be possible, but as YUNA said, it depends on the situation. It can be like crisis pay or COVID pay, or it can be like they don't do the accommodation or pay the accommodation. Housing stipend. Is that correct?
Right. So there's a lot of things that that play into that. So it's important that whenever you see a number, you have a recruiter who's going to actually break that number down for you to tell you exactly what are you getting hourly, how much is your stipend, how much is taxed, how much is untaxed. So that way you can have a greater picture of what you'll be taking home. And that all goes back to the transparency between the nurse and the recruiter as well.
That's right. How about the meals? Do you guys, do the agency provide the meals, or you guys have to shoulder that?
All of that is included within your stipend. So like meals, lodging, and things like that are included within your stipend. Typically, a nurse will only get their stipend if they are 50 miles or more from their residence, their home residence. So it's important
50 miles or more.
50.
Oh, 50. Okay.
Yes, because at that point, it's looked upon as their nurse is doubling their expenses. Like they have a residence at home that they take care of, and now because they're so far, they have another place that they need to, fund as well. So, so it varies. And as far as stipends, it varies from city to city. A stipend in Sacramento is going to be much different than a stipend in Jackson, Mississippi, right?
Yeah.
The cost of living in Sacramento is much higher than it is in Mississippi. So of course they will give you more of a stipend in Sacramento than they will in Mississippi. So those are all things to factor in.
Yeah. So what makes a good travel nurse?
As far as being a good travel nurse, I think that you need to be open to change. Your assignment is consistently changing. So just be open to change, being flexible, being knowledgeable in your skill set, just being a friendly person, interacting with people. Just be who you are, right? So it's important because you're always the new person. So you're going to have to be friendly to ask people where things are, how their different processes and things like that. So just kind of being an all around just friendly person, knowledgeable person, strong in your skill set, flexible, adaptable, good communication skills.
Yes, that's what I'm about to add. Like communicate, because you're new to the unit.
Right.
Never hesitate to communicate.
Right.
Like to ask, where can I find this?
Right.
This equipment and all that. Last, why you love nursing? I think you answered that, but I don't want to ask you again.
Again, I love nursing. I love travel nursing. I love helping people. I love travel nursing because it gives me the opportunity to do so and to see the country as well. It gives me the flexibility to do what I need to do personally as well. So I love that I can still be in my profession and still balance on things in my personal life as well. So that's why I really, 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 really enjoy travel nursing. It just has taken me to places that I would not have been otherwise. For example, I went to Oregon, I went to Washington State, I went to Iowa, places that I would not have gone if I just, I wouldn't have gone there on my own, essentially. So I just love seeing the country. I love meeting new people. I can honestly say that I have friends all over the United States just because of travel nursing. So that's cool too, I love it.
Well, thank you so much, YUNA, and we're gonna end the interview to that because we're both starving.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram, guys. My Instagram page is dose, DOSE _of OF_RN. So it's dose _of _RN.
And after this, I'm gonna follow you.
Yes.
Because I haven't followed you. Follow me on my Instagram
Yes,
too.
I will.
All right.
Okay,
see you
thank
guys
you so
later.
much.
Bye.
Hi guys, I'm home now. I would just like to thank you all for all the love and support that you guys have given me, for supporting my channel, for liking and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it a lot. Also guys, I've learned so much from Nurse YUNA, especially regarding travel nursing. It's something that I wanted to do as well. I know guys, my dreamers wanted to do it as well. Some of you guys are wanting to be a travel nurse as well. So it's really good that I did this interview, and I hope you guys learned something from my video. Again guys, thank you so much, and if it's something that you want to do, go ahead and do it right now, especially that there's a shortage of nurses in the world, not just in America. This is your guy Vino signing off, and as I always say, it's never too late to follow your dreams. Bye bye.
Wow.